Hi, my name is Barbara Jardin. I'm a swimmer and I went to the 2012 Olympic Games. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2014. I'd like to tell you the story how I got diagnosed, actually. For me, it was a pretty long process. They weren't exactly sure how long I was really diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, because with my training, I managed it somehow, I don't know how. But really the year 2013, 2014, I was really having a lot of trouble training, and I actually decided to go back to school. And things just really weren't working out well for me. I tried my best to compete. I tried my best to, have a social life. I tried my best to train, to really just live. But I wasn't getting the results that I wanted in my swimming career. That year in 2014, I actually didn't qualify for a very big international competition called the Commonwealth Games. I actually placed 4th and wasn't selected, unfortunately, for the 4x200 freestyle relay. But it also led me to a really long vacation in the summertime. I took around two months off, and that's when the symptoms really started to hit me hard. I was, thirsty all the time, always having to use the washroom. It even got so bad that I couldn't really see anything. Things got really, really blurry, and I was losing a tremendous amount of weight. And I really had no energy. I would want to go for just an easy 30-minute jog, and things really weren't working out, and I was really, really starting to get scared. So finally in beginning of September, I decided to go and see my doctor, and this was a family doctor, and to be honest, she wasn't even sure if I had it because, no one in my family really has diabetes. So she was like, I'm not sure, but, wait a day, go get your blood test done, and we'll see afterwards. Obviously, being me, I said, no way, I'm not gonna wait a whole day. I called my mom straight away and I was like, Mom, I started crying. I'm like, the doctor thinks I might have diabetes. I don't know what's going on. And she said, okay, meet up with me. We're gonna go eat some lunch. Then we're gonna go to the pharmacy afterwards to go get your sugar level checked. And that's exactly what we did. And they couldn't even read the number on the glucose meter, unfortunately. They told me to go straight to the hospital, which I did, bawling. I was crying so much, but it was okay. It was gonna be okay. I knew it was gonna be okay. I got to the hospital. My sugar levels was at 39. They had many questions for me that I could not answer because I really had no idea what was going on. I was really shocked. I was in the emergency room for like a whole night. Thankfully they let me leave earlier because I was young, I guess, I don't know. It was really scary. I remember all those needles plugged into me all over the place. My boyfriend and my family seeing me like, what's going on, Barb? Like, they were really freaking out. It was a really scary time, but I figured it all out in the end. And with the doctors, they told me that I couldn't even go back to training. That they weren't even sure if I should continue training. But they also told me that I could live a healthy life, which I believe them, but I didn't believe them by the fact that, when they said you're not, like you shouldn't continue swimming, because I didn't want to. Olympic year was coming up in not too long, and I didn't want to have to believe that. So 3 months after I was diagnosed, I just decided to go back to training, which was really, really difficult. I really had to change a lot of things. I had to check my sugar levels very, very often. I remember my fingers were a little bit bruised at the end. They still have a few scars on them. But things were really working out, and that's when I slowly got interested in the Medtronic insulin pump, and I worked with the nurses at Medtronic, and they were so amazing. They absolutely saved me. That's exactly how I feel, honestly. They were always there for me, and if I had any questions, they jumped on it straight away, and they're amazing. Honestly, I really appreciate their help and everything, so I'm really thankful.